up, y'all, and they will not let him out, y'all. I was thinking that him was going to get at least maybe 2 to 5 years. But, they gave him more on what I thought on the end of my spectrum, 5 years. But y'all, they gave not Umar, I'm about to say Umar Johnson. They gave Diddy 50 months, which is like 4 years and 2 months or something like that. So y'all, I thought, I don't know, but I can't say this. They did give him more on the spectrum of his defense team than they did on the prosecution team. The prosecution team, they wanted him to get 11 years, and the judge even said that's a little bit too much. But this is what he got. Hey, Shiloh, how are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. How are y'all doing? Hey, my baby. Jabil Peterson says salute. Salute to you too, my baby. Happy Friday, y'all. TGIF. Let's do a check-in from 1 to 10. How was y'all's Friday? We need to know how y'all's Friday was doing. Hold on, let me turn this off. How was y'all's Friday, y'all? How is y'all's Friday going? My baby says, shout out to everyone in the building. Smash the like button. Yes, indeed. Cheryl says a 10. Jazzy says TGIF. Let's see. Shiloh says a 10 plus. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I can say I had a 10. I had a 10. Mine was on the 10 spectrum today. I got a lot done, of course. So mine was a 10. I can say a 10, a 10, a 10. That's indeed right. But y'all, we're gonna get into it. We're gonna go ahead and see what in the Waka Flocka Flame went on today at Diddy's trial. It was crazy at the courthouse. Jazzy says, me too, a 10. Good, Jazzy, good. Anonymous says, Friday plans got surgery on the hush puppies coming. Oh, wow. Jazzy says, laughing out loud, Waka Flocka Flame. Yes, Waka Flocka Flame. Yes, it went down in Waka Flocka Flame for Diddy today, y'all. He got the 50 years. Like I said, I was like, I wasn't like expecting that much, but like I said, it doesn't matter what he got. I wouldn't be like too surprised. Jazzy says, wish you well, Anonymous. Yes, indeed. Appreciate it. Yeah, we wish you well, Anonymous. We hope everything works out and goes well. But y'all, welcome in the building. Smash the like button. We are going to get into the in the business. We're gonna get in the business, y'all. Let's get in the business. Wait, hold on, y'all. What happened? What happened? What happened, y'all? What happened? Wait a minute. Okay, here we are. So, hey, Jay Legend, how are you? Jay Legend says Diddy got railroaded. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I think, because me and Jamil, me and my baby was talking, and we do know somebody that's kind of like in a similar situation. And I didn't realize this until like a little while ago. And we know somebody that has the similar situation going on, but not with a lot of women, just with one woman. And they got 9 months in jail. So, and it was with the ex-girlfriend. And this is recently. Matter of fact, he'll be going up to serve his time next month or this month, I think, right, Jamil? So he got 9 months. And then another situation where we know somebody who got falsely accused of something that, he wasn't, guilty of. He did 19 years, I think, in prison, right, baby? And he just got out, I think, earlier this year, and he's still fighting, but he was released after like 19 years. So this is really, really crazy. Jerry says, I'm ready for wait. Oh, I was like, huh? Anonymous says 50 months is better than it being longer. Yes, at least they ain't tack on all the years he had been done for his dirt. Yeah, for real. People are thinking that he was getting more. Ready to see the Chucky fits. Oh, Jazzy, you ready for us to get them Halloween costumes? I know me and my baby was just talking about it yesterday. But y'all, I was supposed to go live last night, but y'all, I'm sorry, the what's it called? The Z Monster. Oh, the Z Monster. He had me in a chokehold last night. I was like, I'm gonna take an hour nap. I told Jamil, babe, can you wake me up in an hour? I'm just gonna take a nap. Oh my goodness, y'all. That nap turned into today. I was shocked. I was so tired yesterday. I was like, oh Lord, my peoples is not gonna like this, because I promised him I was gonna go live yesterday and I went to sleep. The Z Monster had me in a chokehold. He was like, go to sleep, girl, go to sleep. I was like, okay. So I was knocked out. Hey, the cool guy, how are you? What about good behavior? Yeah, they said that he didn't have any previous, what's it called, charges, or, was it, he was arrested before, but he didn't have no previous charges, I believe. Hey Manny, how are you? Welcome in the building. Welcome. He didn't have any previous charges, so therefore, I think they used that and took that into consideration, if I'm not, if I'm right. But also, you guys, they were talking about he had charges, or he had been arrested like somewhere overseas. So I don't know what that entailed, but it was like a brief like, from what I heard going over the notes and stuff, it was really brief about that. But we gonna go ahead and read, and then we just gonna chat about it, right? So according to USA Today, they said Diddy's sentencing hearing with the live update, Sean Diddy Combs sentenced to 50 months in prison. Y'all, Diddy said he is locked up and them federales don't want to let him go. I don't know. But let me say this. I'm going to say this, because like I said, me and Jamil are parents. Many of y'all are parents. Y'all have sons, right? Could y'all imagine at this time, however y'all children are, y'all sons, could y'all imagine rounding up all of their ex-girlfriends and putting them on the stage and telling all of their business from the bank to the bedroom? And I'm not condoning Diddy's behavior, because Diddy was a monstrous, like his behavior was very disgusting. However, these girls, especially Mia, because I was there when Mia testified, when the CFO testified, and when what's his name? Garcia, the security guard. I was there when they testified, and a couple of other people. Mia's testimony, that's why she didn't come to court today. Because that heifer, no, she is telling a lie, and the truth is not in her. I'm sorry. I don't believe that she was a victim. I'm going to say they were kind of all victims to a certain extent. However, Mia, she was a ho, Merry Christmas during survival. She was messing with Diddy, and I know she was messing with Diddy because I know her kind as a female. The ones that smile in your face, hey girl, how you doing? And then be sleeping with your man behind your back. That's how Mia is, and that's how her testimony went. And everybody in the courtroom was chit-chatting about this. In the courtroom, when I was there, boots on ground in the courtroom, listening to her testimony. We was whispering like, what in the world? She's over here stalking Diddy. She is telling Diddy that she loves him. And this is even after she got fired from working with him. So I was like, there's no way in God's green earth that if you got graped by Diddy, why would you be calling him? Why are you making him all these scrapbooks? Why are you making him videos, happy birthday videos? Why are you telling him, I love you, Diddy? Oh, I love you. Texting him, numerous times on the screen. They had put all their little text message dialogue up. And some of the times, Diddy wouldn't even respond. Manny says, Mia was a white girl, right? Yes, Mia was a white girl. She was Diddy's assistant. She was not the chef. She was not the cook. Mia was a white girl. She was the one with, that was Diddy's assistant and / cheek clapping partner. I'm just saying. Jazzy says, oh, I thought Mia was Asian. No, Mia is the white girl. She wanted to go as a what's it called, an alias, because she didn't want people to know that she is a ho 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 Merry Christmas in her little city, in her little town. This is why she went incognito. Look, I always say incognito, but I'm sorry, incognito, because she didn't want people to know who and how she really is. You know, you just one of them. I'm just saying, I'm female. I was reading straight through her, and all the females that was sitting around me in the courtroom was reading the same and getting the same vibe off of her. And then was basically, saying the same thing. She was a hoe on the low. She was sleeping with Diddy willingly, but when she felt the time was right to throw in the grape card, when she was talking to Cassie, and she didn't even tell Cassie this. She didn't know until whenever Cassie found out that allegedly Diddy raped her. Whenever she found out is when she found out, because according to her in the testimony, she never told anybody. Now, if something happens to you that bad, that horrible, if somebody steals the meow, ladies, and it was taken from you, not willingly but unwillingly, you're gonna tell somebody. I don't care if it's maybe your mom, if you're that close to your mother, maybe a aunt, a cousin, a friend, a coworker, somebody you're close with that that is gonna, hold your business, your situation, respectfully, so without talking about it or telling everything. Telling somebody or everybody about what happened. So she was a hoe on the low. That's why she didn't show up at court today, because she needs to be hiding up under a rock where she belongs, right? And we know Juicy J, I wasn't there for her testimony, but we know Juicy J, aka 50 Cent baby mama, she was Jane Doe. She testified as Jane Doe, and she knows she was a ho 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 on the low too, and in the open, because she was telling on the stand. She was testifying, and then she then said, like I said, when she was being questioned, she was talking. I think it was a prosecution's team, or the defense. I can't remember, but one of them, when they were questioning her, they asked her, "Well, how much was the purse? Was your purse that Diddy bought you, or something like that?" And she like, well, "How much is my body worth?" Well, that tells you right then and there, like, that she is a juicy girl. She is a ho 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 Merry Christmas, right? But y'all, let's continue getting into the article over here with USA Today. It says, New York, a judge sentenced Sean Diddy Combs to 50 months in prison on Friday after embattled hip-hop mogul's conviction in his federal sex crimes case. And like I said, I don't condone no bad behavior, and I'm not sticking up for Diddy because I never liked or cared for Diddy. I'm not saying that. All I'm saying is these girls, a lot of them lied. Even Gina Han, remember she went on Tasha K and she said Diddy was doing these awful things to her too, and then she came to realize that the feds, they were trying to make her become like a victim, and they wanted her to testify, and she was like, basically, no, if I go up there and testify, I'm gonna y'all don't want me to testify because it's not gonna be for the prosecution's team. And then she wrote a letter for Diddy. So that wouldn't have been a good turnout if the prosecution tried to set her up on that stand, because she was realizing that, hey, I'm a grown adult. I'm a woman that was in a consensual relationship. And if I sit here and tell you that, I'm a victim, I don't think, it would be kind of right. I'm not saying what Diddy did was right, but they were all grown adults. They could have left at any given time. So Jazzy says Gina. They said Gina was at the court looking desperate as ever, shaking my head. Oh, she did go to the courthouse? I didn't know she went to the courthouse, Jazzy. I didn't hear me. All right, I'm back. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Am I back? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me. My phone was ringing. I'm sorry. My phone was ringing. Said the family wouldn't even oh, wow. Okay, it's a 1. Hey, Dr. Sharice, how are you? Yandy, welcome. Oh, wow. I didn't know she went to the court. See, that's what I'm saying. I have to go back because there was a lot going on today, y'all. It was a whole lot A whole lot of stuff going on. Hey, Lounge. Oh, hey, Dr. Sharice. How are you? It was a whole lot going on. A whole lot. But y'all, we're gonna get into it. Let's continue reading. So it says the U.S. District Court Judge Arun Subramanian issued the ruling of just over 4 years in prison to Stoic Combs in Manhattan Court October 3rd. Combs could be released in less than 3 years after receiving credit for the time he has already spent locked up at the MDC in Brooklyn, where he's been held in custody since his September 2024 arrest. It says it was an emotional day for Combs, who arrived in the courtroom Friday wearing a sweater and sporting a gray beard. Y'all, when we went to the courthouse and I seen Diddy, he looked like Santa Claus that stole Christmas about 40 years ago. He was all gray in the hair. I mean, I was like, that's Diddy? I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I was like, what in the world? Diddy? What? But yes, he looks a lot older. And remember, when those artists were drawing his pictures, he was like, hey, can y'all back off? Y'all making me look old. Sir, you are old. Sir, hold up. You're 55 years old. You look older than Methuselah, okay? You look older than Methuselah. He was like, hey, can you just, back off a little bit? Y'all making me look like the pop that stole Christmas 50 years ago. But, sir, that's just how you look. I mean, maybe you should have got some magic marker and water in the MDC and maybe try to dye your hair a little bit. I mean, maybe that's the best you could have did. I don't know. Or maybe some ink. Ink, the black ink pens. Maybe if he would have put that like in a little plastic cup and stirred it around and then just go ahead, took his toothbrush and maybe put some around the edges and then went to the haircut spot in the MDC and told him that just go ahead and give me a short haircut. I tried to put as much color on up in there as I could, but no, he had a lot of gray hair. He was looking like pop. So let's continue. So it says he addressed the court for about 10 minutes, y'all. He addressed the court for about 10 minutes. And at the hearing, reiterating many points, he made a 4-page letter to the judge. Have y'all heard that song? I'm writing a 4-page letter. And I'm something with the key. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. My singing skills is they off point. But anyway, so it says 4-page letter he wrote to Subramanian apologizing for all of the hurt and the pain I have caused others by my conduct. Let me say this. Like I said, I don't condone nobody lying because, y'all, there was a lot of people. And like I said, I don't care for Diddy. I'm not saying I followed him. I'm a fan of Diddy or anything. I'm just for doing the right thing. And I say that because this situation could happen to any of us. We could have stole a candy bar and then they said, oh, we're gonna give you 40 years for unaliving somebody or something. It's like, charge him appropriately for what he did. He did these horrible things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he didn't, but the things that he was charging with, for me and for a lot of people, they are saying that he didn't get charged appropriately. But that's all I'm saying. But these girls that went on the stand and start lying, not saying what Diddy did was right, I don't condone it. They were all toxic relationships. All of them. Cassie, they was both drunk on drugs, doing all these other things. I mean, y'all tell me, y'all know y'all can find at least 5 people in y'all life ever that had toxic relationships. And I'm not even saying like not that deep on the end, but some people may have found or have friends who have toxic relationships where they beating each other. I mean, I done seen it before too. And somebody I know, toxic relationships, beating each other up and stuff like that. But I'm not condoning it. All I'm saying is that these girls, some of their testimony was a flat out lie, especially like I said, Mia. She's the one that sticks in my mind most because her story was so horrible. It had the whole courtroom talking when we were supposed to be quiet in court. But anyway, hey, Tabby, how are you? Welcome. Jazzy says, not sure how R. Kelly got 30 years and Diddy got 4. That's true. Because, what they were saying that Diddy did, people were saying remember they say Diddy was looking at life or something in prison. So I don't know. So I don't know, but he better be lucky he got them, couple of years up under his belt. Even though, I mean, I don't wish no harm on nobody, but karma has came to visit him. I'm just saying, when you do people dirty and you do those things, and you had the power when you could have had the power to do something more positive, give somebody some jobs, do a little bit better. I'm just saying, this is what he could have did with all the power that he had. He could have made this into a great situation. But even the judge said, after you made that apology to Cassie, you went and you beat up J Ho 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 Merry Christmas. After you said that apology to Cassie, you gonna get in there and then go and slap her around a couple of times, give her 24 pieces and 2 biscuits after you apologize to Cassie. So you think that you're above the law, sir, basically. I mean, that's what he was saying, and that was just factual and true. Hey, Michael Miller, how are you? Manny says facts. Yeah. So the judge served him, the 4 years and 2 months, I believe it is. 4 years and 2 months, 50 months, I believe. I think if I counted up right, it was 4 years and 2 months. But Diddy could have did great things in the community wherever he was. Just him as a person having that much power, he could have opened many of companies. The way he was doing his companies and, thriving, doing really good, he could have opened a numerous companies like around the whole United States, probably even overseas, and employed people to work. That would have been something good, but he did. He chose to do this, have this lifestyle, which is what you do behind the closed doors is your business. But when it comes to borderline being legal or illegal, that's when you're walking and sliding on thin ice. So, hey, Lady D, how are you? Welcome. So I think that, what he got, he better be glad that's what he got. Because a lot of people, probably could have got worse. And, some people probably got less or whatever. But I wasn't surprised with either way, because like I said, I wouldn't be surprised with whatever the judge was going to give him. But even the judge said 11 years. No, that's way too much. That's a little bit too much. But y'all, put a 1 in the chat. Do y'all think that Trump is going to pardon Diddy before Christmas? Because this is what's going around. This is what's going around in these streets. They are saying Trump. Y'all know how Trump is. Y'all know Trump. He got to have the last word. He got to be the boss. He got to be, because I did this. Y'all know how Trump is. They are saying that Trump said, Tabby says no, Maddie says a 1, Lady D says a 1, Dr. Cherie says a 1. They are saying that they think that Trump is going to pardon him before Christmas. I don't know if that's what he'll probably gonna do, but we all know how Trump is. We know him, how him is with that TikTok right now, because him and TikTok is like going back and forth trying to do all this craziness, right? So I think that he may, I don't know. I can't even call it, just like I couldn't even call this sentencing, because I said at first I was saying 10 to 20 to 30 to life in prison. That's before I went to court and started hearing these little liar cha-cha-chas lying about some of the stuff. Now, I'm not saying all the stuff, because Diddy was a monster. He was doing nasty things, putting hands, kettlebells, chairs, and everything else on everybody. But, karma comes when you least expect it. I always say that, but I always thrive off of telling the truth and being truthful, because if something happens, y'all got them friends and them family members, co-workers, they are always telling a lie. And then they come and tell you something serious, like, oh my God, the building's on fire. You be like, girl, if you don't go sit down, you is always lying. And then there's really a fire. You're like, oh, snap, crackle, pop, I got to get out the building, right? You, as a person, for me personally, like, I believe that people should always tell the truth and shame the devil, because even if you try to sell your soul, it's not going to look good, because when you do that type of stuff, your karma is going to come visit you too. And I'm saying that because y'all remember all of those lawsuits that these people were trying to throw on Diddy. Oh yeah, Diddy tried to make me clap Cassie's cheeks, and the people that were working with Diddy, they were trying to make it into like a whole thing. And I'm like, at first I was like, oh my goodness, what is his name? Tony, whatever that attorney was. Remember he was like, it was like lawsuits and lawsuits that were coming out with Diddy. Diddy was doing this. Diddy was doing this. Diddy was, making somebody, do this. Diddy, and then they said the kids and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, oh, Diddy's going down. Him is going down. But then I started to realize, and I'm like, why are these people always having these lawsuits? Like Tony Busby, he has like 11 like truckloads and truckloads of all of these lawsuits coming out left and right. But I mean, really and truly, they say some of them have, passed and made it to the finish line. But it was just like, to me, it was like a bunch of hoopla to me. It was a bunch of like hoopla, like people lying. Remember, what's her name? What's that girl's name? The big girl that came out and said that she was at the freak offs. Misha. I think her name was Misha. And then she was like, yeah, I was on the table and I had my clothes on and I this and da da da. And then Adriana, because my baby Jamil, Adriana, he interviewed her. And I was like, oh my goodness, Diddy made you do that? And then the freak off lawyer, the one that was Adriana's lawyer, she came with TD Jakes Jr. And then they were talking about all these things. And I'm like, all of these people are coming out with all of this like crazy stuff. But it's like, no, and is it because Diddy has money and they were trying to drain him for the money and not saying what Diddy had been doing to these other girls was right? But it almost sounded like a money grab to me. But like I said, nobody can pay me. I don't care if it's $1 trillion to lie and say that something happened to me and it didn't, because I feel like my credibility, my respect for myself, all those things, like I'm not gonna do or say anything that didn't happen, and nobody's gonna pay me no kind of money to sit there and lie and spin off this narrative that's not even true. Like, yeah, I was at Diddy's house. Remember, even the 13-year-old girl, remember with the Jay-Z and the 13-year-old girl, I was even going for that story. I thought, oh, Jay-Z's in trouble. Oh my God, this got 13-year-old girl, him, Diddy, and J-Lo. And then we never even seen J-Lo. Remember, J-Lo was thrown in the mix. So it's like all of these people with these crazy stories, and I'm like, something just ain't right. Like, something is not right. And then I started to think about it when I went to the courtroom and we was listening to these people. And like I said, everybody that was in the courtroom sitting around me, they were like, some of these stories, this is crazy. This is really crazy. All these people, like Diddy did all this to all these people. Remember, they were even saying the minors were in there. Remember the one that Jamil used to always talk about? I forget her name. She even said, oh, she was at the Diddy house and she went to a party and there was like the kids around. So I'm like, this doesn't even, like, something just is not right with this. And then when I sat my badunkadunk down, when I went to the New York, to the 500 Pearl Street, and we sat in the courtroom, and this is where I wish his trial was on camera. Of course, the federal building, there's no cameras, but y'all, I'm telling you, this was what made me like change my mind thought. Like I said, not saying what Diddy did was right, because he was wrong, and this is why he got the sentencing, right? But when you sit there and you lie, I would not ever let nobody pay me no money to sit there and lie off of people, because these things, like me and Jamil know somebody, one of his friends served 20 years off of a lie. So I don't like when people sit there and lie and get paid, or lie, whatever their case may be, for clout or whatever it is. I'm not lying. You can't pay me to lie at all. But this is what they were doing. And like I said, some of their stories was true. Of course, some of their stories are true. But some of the stories, like Mia, her story was horrible. Oh, her story was horrible. Her story was the worst out of all of them. But Diddy did do bad things to these women. And not only to women, remember all these people. He dropped the kettlebells, was slinging kettlebells, slinging chairs. He done slapped Drake. He done did all these crazy things to people. So really and truly, it's his karma. And remember, he sued the Diageo too. So that was even worse for him. So he is being set down. God does stuff, for a reason. But when you do stuff, karma comes when you least expect it too. So it's crazy. Tammy says the feds didn't do a good job. Tammy, I don't think so either. First of all, I think they should have charged him with other charges because he did a lot of stuff. Now, you tell me all this stuff that Diddy did and you couldn't find and dig out no better charges than that? And then the reason why Jamil calls her Jackie Chan's daughter, the reason why Gina Han didn't go, because remember, y'all, she was on Tasha K. She was like, oh, yeah, Diddy did this. He beat me. Whatever she was saying. I can't remember word from word. But Diddy did her some, some bad, disgusting things. And remember, she was supposed to be victim number 3, and she never showed up in court. Well, we found out a few days ago that she was saying that the feds were trying to make her be a victim. And she was like, I was in this relationship, not saying what Diddy did was good. He laid hands and did a feet and everything on me, but I was a grown woman in a relationship. Could y'all imagine y'all getting y'all exes and, putting them up on the stand and then they telling all the bad things that happened? All the bad things that happened. And I'm not saying what Diddy did was right. By no means. I'm not supporting that because I don't care for Diddy. I'm just speaking reality because these are the things that could be happening to us. You know what I'm saying? Or your son. Like, these things, or even your daughter. Because, I got some rough girls in my family too. That do some things. But could you imagine pulling out all these exes, putting them on the stand, and then they say, okay, what did they do to you? Okay, oh, all right. Okay, now you're getting this charge, and now you're going to jail for 4 years. Like, I'm just saying, why wasn't Abercrombie and Fitch? Why didn't he go to jail? He's out a free man and did the same thing that Diddy did. I mean, I don't know if he was laying that much hands and all that other stuff, but he got charged just almost the same charges as Diddy. And he looked like a Halloween, like a white Freddy Krueger a Halloween mask. And he got let out. He paid $10 million in bail. I think it is a high amount. And they didn't even make him go to jail. They talk about he got Alzheimer's or dementia or whatever. But he did the same disgusting crimes as Diddy. And this is what I'm saying. The justice system is not fair across the board because one situation should apply to everybody. It shouldn't be a selective, if you steal a candy bar, the time is 5 months or whatever, right? If you steal a candy bar, you steal a candy bar, you steal a candy bar, no matter what your ethnicity is 5 months. And that's how it should be. And that's why I say, with this situation, the feds, they did a horrible job. Because y'all could go back on my videos. I was like, oh, the feds got Diddy's going to jail. He getting life in prison and I can't wait. I was like that until I sat my butt in the court and listened to all these stories. And it didn't even add up. It was like they were over there. They had went and had these interviews with the feds 11 times. The feds were prepping them and telling them what to say and how to say because it was not making any sense. It was not making any sense, some of the stuff that they were saying. Like, I mean, it was crazy. And then when the defense got up there and they put them on blast, I mean, it was with Mia. Oh my God! When I say Brian Steele, then tore Mia's badonkadonk up, y'all. I was like, Brian Steele, I think you deserve a whole Oscar. He was snapping on that girl. He was like, he did a great job tearing her apart. And I'm not saying just in like talking. No, he had the proof. He was like, oh, so right here it says on page, he gave her a pamphlet to like go by, I think it was. And then he was like, also it was on the screen. So you said on this day, Mia, that this, that, and the third, and it was all on the screen. It was like the evidence and the proof of what she was, the dialogue that she was having, all the stuff that she was saying to Diddy. Is like she was stalking Diddy. Now, if somebody graped you, how are you always calling and telling them you love them and this, that, and that? And then she lied also when she said Diddy tried to hold her like hostage and didn't let her go to her grandmother's funeral. Now, they had a text message that they put up. And she was telling Diddy, I'm going to my grandma's funeral. I bought my tickets. And this like it was funny. Like, oh, yeah, not funny, but like she was doing her. Like, oh, I bought my tickets and I'm going to my grandma's funeral. My grandma passed away, this, that, and the third. but you lied and said Diddy was basically holding you hostage and making you work all these hours that we never even seen the proof of. All we seen is the text messages, her telling Diddy, I'm going to my grandmother's funeral. So where was it? And not in none of those text messages did Diddy respond and say, you can't go to your funeral. You got to be over here at the Diddy camp or whatever, at the what is it, Sean Diddy Combs, whatever. Sean Combs studios on Monday at 8 o'clock. You ain't going to your grandma's funeral. No, never in all of the evidence was any of that information. That's why I said, Tammy said the feds did a bad job. They did a horrible job. And I was counting on the feds because y'all know the conviction rate is like a 98% rating. And I was like, these federales, they didn't totally fail. Even if they put the story, that's almost like the Charlie Kirk story. Whoever is writing these stories, y'all, they need to be fired. And somebody else that maybe is better at maybe one of these movie producers, they need to hire one of them to write the stories, because whoever wrote these stories, Charlie Kirk, Diddy's situation is horrible, because it's not making any sense at all. The stuff that we seen in the courtroom was not adding up at all. And I was like, why are you saying, this is what bothered me about Mia, is why are you saying that he raped you and this, that, and the third? You're constantly calling him because they pulled up your text messages. Y'all know the feds, they have access to all of that. And hey, FMC, how are you? They have the text messages, and you're saying you love him, you miss him. I want to see you, Diddy. Sending him birthday. Y'all, hold on. Let me see this. Let me see if I can find her birthday. She made a whole birthday video to Diddy. Let me see if I can find that, and y'all will see what I'm talking about. Cause I mean, this doesn't. Let me see. Mia sends Diddy birthday video. Let me see. And that's why she didn't show her badonkadonk up at the courthouse, because she know that lie wasn't sitting right with us in the courtroom. Everybody was whispering, talking whenever they had like a break and she was on the stand. I'm telling you, Brian Steele, he ate her up. He ate her like a lunch meal, dinner meal, like I'm the Thanksgiving meal. I'm gonna say that. He ate her all the way up, and not just, like I said, by talking, by proof. That's why this thing is crazy. Let me see if I can, hold on real quick. Diddy, Mia, let me see. Mia sends Diddy birthday. Let me see. She reminds me of that girl on Little, what's it called? Not Housewives. What's that little girl? Not the little girl, the young lady. She's on, Tammy says, yeah, Diddy's, liars, was in their capping. Yes, they were, Tammy, they were capping. I'm telling you. I am telling you. They were in there capping and lying so much. Even Gina, not Gina, what's her name? 50 Cent baby mama, a mess. A hot ghetto ho a mess. Let me see. Mia sends Diddy birthday. Hold on, birthday video. Let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, here we found the video. We found the video, and this girl was a mess in court. I wanted to go up there and tell her, you need to get off the stand, because you are a disgrace. You are a disgrace to real victims. You really are. You are a disgrace to real victims, and you should not be on the stand over here lying, knowing that you just slept with your homegirl's man. Let me see. This is the heifer, and then she's drinking Diddy's water. You know, Diddy had a contract with who did she have? Diddy had a contract, and they said this in court too. Diddy had a water contract with somebody, but y'all, we're gonna watch this video, and this is a little ho Merry Christmas on the low that tried to lie, and she did lie, and she was lying, saying that Diddy raped her. And then when she was in court, and then Diddy's lawyer was breaking her down, she had nothing to say. And then she was testifying like this. She, um, um, no, put your head up. Put your head up. Put your head up, homegirl. Testify with your head up. No, you couldn't testify with your head up because you were ashamed and you were embarrassed because you knew you was sitting up there lying. You was sitting up there lying. And like I said, Diddy is nowhere near no angel. And we all know this. We all know Diddy is not an angel. Anonymous says she only prays with her that part, Anonymous, that part. She only prays with them hands up and them feet in the air. And this is what she was doing. She was getting her cheeks clapped by Diddy. Or Diddy was clapping, she was clapping Diddy's cheeks, however, because y'all know I think Diddy wants a boyfriend. But listen to this because this is what they bought in court. This is the evidence and somebody found it. Somebody found it because it's on YouTube. Y'all can check it out for yourself. Just put in Mia sends Diddy a birthday video. And they even broke down where she made Diddy a scrapbook. Y'all know scrapbooks where you can take lipstick or something and glue to it, maybe a remote control and glue in the scrapbook. She made Diddy a scrapbook. Now you telling me that Diddy raped you? And you making him scrapbooks, you calling him, telling him you love him, you making him videos and then drinking the water that, he has a contract with. You telling me you doing all this for somebody that raped you? I mean, I'm sorry, but there's no way that that will go down in my book. I'm sorry. And not even all the stuff that she was doing that they showed in court with anybody that I could imagine would probably do anything like this. I mean, not even Cassie was doing this, and she was more of a victim than all of them. Of course, Cassie, was a victim, I think, until a certain extent, because Cassie, she played her part too, but she was a victim. All of them were victim of being abused by Diddy. Let me say that. But Mia, no, she was a victim, by Diddy putting hands on her, but really and truly, she was the one that she's a liar. She's just a liar that stole Christmas. And I'm glad she didn't show up in the courtroom because when she showed up the first time when I was there, she looked a hot mess. So this is Mia, you guys. This is a hoe on the outside. She didn't want to go to court today because she knows she's a ho Merry Christmas, and she's one of those type of females, and we all got it that she is the one that will smile in your face and sleep with your man. Ladies, y'all better watch out for this hot mess right here. But she gave me that vibe, and not just me, a lot of people that was around me in the courtroom while she was on the stand testifying. And then they took a little break, and then we got the chit chat in the courtroom. The courtroom went from silent to because we were whispering and chit-chatting and couldn't believe the stuff she was saying and the responses from her being questioned. But y'all listen to her and y'all tell me, is this somebody that, has been raped? And this is way after, my phone's falling. This was way after she accused Diddy of raping her. This is way after. But y'all, let's listen to this whole on the low. Hold on. We can't listen to the whole on the low because the volume is not even up. Hold on. Hold up, swole up, y'all. Hold up. Okay. Let's listen to this hoochie mama.
Song. Poppin'. Puff Daddy, the living legend himself. You've not only revolutionized the game, but the entire world. I'm so blessed to call you my friend. Thank you for truly being one of the biggest inspirations in my life. To another 44 years of brilliance. Let's fuck shit up. I love you. Happy birthday. Revolt.
Now, she said, happy birthday. I love you. Let's F Sugar Honey Iced Tea up. Does this look like somebody that has been raped by him? How are you going to send out a video, make a scrapbook, call and stalk Diddy just about? I'm telling you, she was just about stalking him. She was on the text messages. Y'all should have seen Diddy sometimes didn't even respond to her. He was probably like, oh, Lord, here goes that blonde-headed heifer. She's over here getting on my last nerve. She want me to answer the phone. I cannot believe she keeps on calling me. Didn't I let her go like a year or 2 years ago and she's still stalking me? This is how Diddy, I'm sure Diddy felt. But y'all, let's listen to it again. This is the ho, 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 Merry Christmas, Mia, liar, liar, pants on fire. The truth ain't in her. And the worst worst person that was on the stand testifying against Diddy. And y'all, that's why she didn't show her little stink butt up at the courthouse today, because she knew what she said on the stand was a lie, a whole lie.
Shameless plug. Gotta put my lip gloss on. Poppin'! Puff Daddy, the living legend himself. You've not only revolutionized the game, but the entire world. I'm so blessed to call you my friend. Thank you for truly being one of the biggest inspirations in my life. To another 44 years of brilliance. Let's fuck shit up. I love you. Happy birthday. Revolt.
So this, you guys, her name is Mia. She's the one who testified as Mia. She didn't want to use her real name because she didn't want people to know that she was a ho, 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 Merry Christmas, and she was smile in your face and sleep with your man behind your back. So she wanted to testify under the alias Mia. So she didn't want y'all. Look, I can't let everybody know I'm a hoe on the low. Can you just call me Mia in the courtroom? Can I testify under Mia? Yeah, you needed to testify under something because everybody's gonna know you wherever you're from, and we know where she's from. She is from the up East Coast. Let me just say that she's from the East Coast, and they know that she is, I'm sure a hoe on the low. That's why she didn't want to give her whole name. So she wanted to testify. Can I testify under Mia? Yeah, you sure can. But people are still going to know that you're a hoe on the low and you like to sleep with your friend's man, because Cassie was supposedly, let me turn the camera. Cassie was her friend. She said that Cassie, she kind of was like, Cassie was like a sister to her, I believe she said, or like a close friend. So you telling me that you sleeping with your friend's man? And you smiling, laughing, and kiki, and not one time in the midst of you and Cassie being by yourself, you never told Cassie, Diddy grape me? Don't make sense. Does not make sense to me at all. Does not make sense. Just like these people and these YouTube is not pushing out my video. It doesn't make sense. Tammy says a hoe on the low. Yes, Tammy, she's a hoe on the low. And she was testifying, y'all, I swear. You see how her hair is? Because her hair was like that in the courtroom too. You see how her hair is like, it's going like this from on once, I guess, let me see. It's going like this on the right. And she was, like this in court. This is how she was in court. Just like those sketches were showing, this is how she was in court when she was testifying. Her head was, look, her hair, you see my Jerry curl is like, the Jerry curls is like talking to you right now. Her head was talking to the people in the courts. Her head was talking to people. She knew she was telling a lie. That's why she couldn't even put her head up. If somebody did something to you, I'm going to go tell it on the mountaintop. I'm going to have my head up and I'm going to be doing everything I can to say and tell my story. But she couldn't even do that in the courtroom. Dr. Sharice is laughing. Anonymous says, emo Karen, you was a mess. Y'all is a mess. But yes, she was the worst. I'm saying whoever wrote this story, y'all need to y'all already in Hollywood. Y'all should have went to Hollywood and got a better writer, because all y'all did was gather up all of Diddy's ex-girlfriends or his workers and tell these stories that did not make sense. Just like the Charlie Kirk story. That doesn't make sense. And now they're talking about Charlie Kirk's wife like a dirty dog. Now they're saying like, something like to the effect where she knew what was up. But I mean, I don't know how to get later in that story. But these people writing these stories, I'm telling you, it was terrible. Like I said, Diddy did these things to these people. I mean, he was, like I said, he was slapping them, beating them up. The judge even said today that Diddy, he didn't go apologize. Oh, I'm sorry, Cassie. And then in the next 30 minutes, he over there beating up Jane Ho 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 Merry Christmas 50 Cent baby mama. So he had to get set down. So he had the karma comes when you least expect it. And like I said, Diddy has so much power. He could have used that power to the positive. He could have all these businesses and all this stuff. He was trying to have people more like scared and intimidated of him instead of trying to have these people more like, where you could talk to anybody, You should have had these people come and be able to talk to you, being able to feel comfortable around you, trying to provide them jobs and stuff because you were at the top. You had money, you had power, but you chose to use it in a negative way to a certain extent. And this is what basically took him down. Tammy says Trump is too busy worried about those bodies. Tammy, he's trying to stack all kind of stuff. Look, the Diddy trial. Okay, we got the Charlie Kirk situation. We got the stuff going on overseas. We got the stuff. He's trying to stack up everything so he can bury the Epstein files. The Epstein files are right here, but he got the Diddy trial. He got the Charlie Kirk situation. He got this going on. He got that going. I mean, he got a lot of stuff going on, but them files, baby, he don't want them files to be coming out. So that's why I think that he's gonna pardon him because he wants, how y'all know how Trump is. Y'all know he wants the attention. Trump wants a lot of attention. He wants everybody to think that he is the man. He wants everybody to try to bow down to him or thank you, like he's a dictator or something. He wants people to kiss his badonkadonk. Sir, you was almost, you up there in age. Who is, nobody worried about that, Trump. We just want to see these Epstein files. Can you provide us those, sir? I'm just saying, Dr. Cherie says another distraction too. Yes. That's why they are saying that they think that he's going to pardon Diddy before Christmas because he's still trying to find things. Like he's grabbing stuff. Oh shoot, I can put that under the Epstein file. Okay, I can grab this story. Okay, Charlie Kirk. Okay, Diddy files. Okay, I can grab this. Okay, and the Diddy files is buried to the bottom, and he does not want them to be come uncovered. Hold on, y'all. I didn't drop my battery playing around. He don't want the Epstein files. Hold on. He don't want the Epstein files to come undone at all. Hold on, y'all. I didn't drop my battery under the desk. He don't want the Epstein files to come out at all. Him don't want them to come out at all. Tammy says unredacted files preferably. I know, right? He doesn't want that. And why do y'all think that he didn't fire Maureen Comey? Because y'all remember Maureen Comey's father, who is James Comey. James Comey was the head of the FBI. So he don't what matter of fact, I think he already did, if he hadn't already done, sent an indictment out for James Comey. And James Comey is like 100,000 years old. I'm telling you, Trump is trying to keep every type of distraction on top of the Epstein files. He is trying to keep all these distractions up on the Epstein files, everything. Trying to keep them Epstein files buried. But yeah, this is crazy. This is really, really crazy. But y'all, let's go back and finish reading this story on Sean Diddy Combs. Hey, T.Y. says 100,000 years old. Yes, 100,000 years old. He is older than Methuselah. He is older than Methuselah. So let me see. Hold on. What happened? I done lost my spot. Okay, where we at? Let me see. Hold on, I lost my spot. See, I be talking so much. Okay, so let's continue. So it says Combs spoke directly to testimony from his Combs spoke directly to testimony from his former girlfriend's ex-R&B star Cassandra Ventura, and a woman identified as Jane Doe apologizing to them both. I want to personally apologize again to Cassie Ventura for any harm or hurt that I caused her emotionally or physically. My actions were disgusting, shameful, and sick, Combs says. Combs also apologized to Jane. I didn't mean to hurt you, he said. His conviction centers on the transportation of Ventura Fine and the anonymous Jane, as well as sex workers from the intent for the intent to of prostitution. Ventura Fine and Jane Doe testified during the trial that Combs physically abused and controlled them and had them participate in marathon drug-fueled sexual encounters with male escorts. Those sessions, dubbed freak-offs, often involve travel across the state and even international boundaries. Now, let me say this. Now, we all grown, right? We all grown. Have y'all not traveled with y'all's significant other? And I'm not saying, I mean, even some people who are into that lifestyle, some people do that. They go and, travel and clap some cheeks or whatever they may do. Those people that are into that lifestyle, and then they may go back home. They may go about their business. Some people probably do that, right? I mean, people who are in that lifestyle. Let's just be for real. Let's be honest. It may be, let's go on a vacation, and then it's, we need to order us a freak off, a third party. We need to have a 3-piece, a 3-love affair tonight. At least I need to watch a 2-way with you and her, because Diddy, he was not, no, he didn't want, he wanted to watch, and he wanted the happy ending. So this is what people do. People who are in that lifestyle is, their business, right? I don't want to hear about it, but this is what people do. I'm just saying, people do that type of freaky stuff. They do. So he is being charged because they go on these trips and go on vacations, and being that they went from like state to state, country, wherever, this is where the transportation got, like, to me, involved in his charges. But like I said, people do the nastiest things. And Tabby said he's a pee freak. Yeah, Tabby, he is, because remember they said he was in his Pooh Shiesty mask like this, and he put the hat on, and he was over there just looking and lurking, talking about, yeah, hit it from the left. Yeah, put them high heels on. Yeah. Back it up a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit more. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. That's too much. Okay, go for it. That's what he was doing. He was like, he was the freak off commander-in-chief of the bedroom. This is what he liked to do. But I think I really think that he gets off on that, but he likes to watch somebody else clap his girlfriend's alleged cheeks. But see, where he messed up at is why he was trying to keep them. He was trying to, like, offer them things, and it was like a thing where Kay Shanette says, sounds like a director. Yes, he could have been a freak off movie director, chief of freak offs, or commander-in-chief of the freak offs. Okay, y'all still there? I had another phone call. Are y'all there? Put a 1, put a 1, put a 1. I'm here. Put a 1, put a 1, put a 1 if y'all are with me still. Okay, we there. But Diddy, so Diddy, he was a freak off, like, director, commander-in-chief. He wants to watch them. But like I said, he would have been better off if he just had a boyfriend. And if he would have just made the freak offs to where it was like, maybe his boyfriend clapping another woman's cheek. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. Okay, we got, Michael T.Y. Thank you, T.Y. Thank you, Dr. Sharice, FMC Lord. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all. So we here. So I think that's what would have happened if, High Dog says, woohoo, nice haircut, auntie. Thank you, High Top. I got the Jerry curl, the Jerry curl. I'll try to cut it off all the way, because I just lazy, little lazy like Umar Johnson, but not that lazy. But anyway, thank you. But Diddy, if he would have got him a boyfriend, like I said, and he would have just went ahead and go clap some cheeks, watch his boyfriend clap the girl's cheeks, and all he had to do is get, because y'all know them little juicy girls are everywhere now, especially, you know, around them billionaires, millionaires. There's always these girls that want, pick me, pick me. Well, you could have picked her and just left her after the freak off, and he probably wouldn't have been in trouble. So I don't know what he had the game kind of twisted backwards. Swingers clubs, flamingo crew. Yes, yes, anonymous. Yes, all of that. He could have had an arrangement, a contract with one of them girls, but no, he was trying to keep the girls. He was trying to, you know, keep them, you know, because all of them, Miami, Kim, Cassie, they were all like on the red carpet with him at one point or another, or whatever those, you know, at the movie, at the awards and all that. He had all of them on the carpet like they was eye candy. But really or truly, he should have been with the man. You know, I really truly think so. But I think he thinks that everybody is not gonna like him. Look, it doesn't matter. If you like a man, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? This is what these times has come up with, right? I'm just saying, Anonymous says Diddy was poly. I think so, probably so. Tammy says he got to have a boyfriend and the boyfriend's boyfriend. Oh my goodness, Tammy. Oh my goodness, the boyfriend and the boyfriends of I know, right? And he would have been okay and not promising nobody anything. Like, yeah, girl, I'm gonna buy you a purse. I'm gonna buy you some new lips. I'm gonna buy you a badonkadonk. I'm gonna buy you some tatas. Just get this freak off on. Just get the, cause remember Jane Doe, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, 50 Cent baby mama. She said on her birthday, he had planned a freak off. Diddy planned a freak off the night of her birthday. Took her out to dinner. They were eating good. And then he said, oh, yeah, it's all right. That food good. Oh, okay. What it tastes like? What them egg rolls taste like over there? Oh, okay. You know, we having a freak off tonight. So, we having a freak off tonight. So, we having a freak off tonight. And then that's when Sugar Honey Iced Tea will go down. It was like a revolving door. One thing. It was like they were coming in, she said, and she could not. She thought when she was finished, oh no, Diddy wasn't finished watching. It was like a 4-hour, 5-hour, a whole 12-hour movie. But like I said, if he would have left, and I say this about some men, right? Some men, if they keep their eggplant in their pants, they will be all right. If they treat their bank account like they treat their personal life, then they will be all right. Diddy had a business mindset, but when it comes to like the freak off situation, he was just like a weak link. And he couldn't control that. I mean, you could control the money in your bank, but you can control your freak offs. I mean, it's really crazy. But this is what they're saying. So it says, Ventura and Jane both testified during the trial, and Combs physically abused them. Okay, we read that. Says those sessions dealt with freak offs. Okay, early Friday in court, Summerinian said that Combs has expressed remorse for some of his conduct, not all. It says he had not apologized for the prostitution offenses at the heart of the conviction. And Diddy, he was like looking like an old man, y'all. He was looking like an old man. It says 6 of Combs' 7 children spoke through tears in support of their father, and one of Combs' defense attorneys broke down crying as she recounted how inspiring she thought he was. And y'all check out my video, because in my videos, in the last video that I have up, this video is showing the video. This is the video they showed in court today. So they showed a very inspiring video, and they played that in court today. And it shows Diddy, on his business venture, and saying how people could dream. You should never, whatever. You should be able to dream and live your life and dream and, go far in life, or whatever is said in there, right? And it was a nice video, but this is what they played in court. But the judge was like, well, Diddy, you not sorry for some of the stuff that you have done. But it says ahead of Combs' sentencing, the Grammy-winning rapper legal team had recommended Submarinian hand down 14 months of prison time, while prosecutors sought for an 11-year sentence. And Judge Submarinian said in court, no, 11 years is too much. He even said that is too much. And I'm shocked that he leaned more towards the, because I think Diddy's lawyers, they were asking for like 14 months versus 11 years. Ty said, I am still crying. Oh, Lord, Ty, no. Hey, Sharon, how are you? Hey, reading books, how are you? V, welcome in. So, yeah, so like I said, Diddy, he had the chance and opportunity to, do right by people in general. Now, if he, of course, have his own fetishes behind closed doors, that's his business. But when he started laying hands, I don't think that y'all put a 1 in the chat. If y'all think that Diddy, what he was doing, if he was doing all of that behind closed doors, right? I'm talking about the freak off stuff, minus all the freak off stuff, minus the abuse. Do y'all think that he'll be over there and getting them 4 years and 50 months today? I don't think so. Because what else can you say and tell that would deem you to, be getting in trouble? I mean, probably the traveling and the prostitution, what they got him on. But if he kept his hands to himself, I don't think half the stuff that he went through, I don't think he would have went through it. If he was like a low down dirty dog, okay, you got all these women, okay, you're a billionaire. That's what comes with billionaire status. All these women who are like, chasing you, these women, I'll call them juicy girls. These juicy girls, they don't care. They just want to get a turn at their doorknob for an exchange for a Gucci purse or Prada purse or some Apple bottoms or whatever these girls are wearing these days. They want the Gucci purse. They want the badonkadonks done. They want a nose job. They want all of that. And they will go and chase these billionaires knowing that these billionaires have 11 other women chasing them, but they're okay with it. But this is a lifestyle that they wanted. Right? They know that. And they got game too. They got game. They sure do got game. Because that's why Juicy J was saying, well, how much, when she was asked on the stand, well, how much was this purse? I forget some kind of expensive purse. And then she said, well, how much is my body worth? Well, I don't know. Maybe you need to ask all the men that then paid you, because I'm sure you got paid a whole lot of money for performing all kind of freaky services. Let's just be real. That's not the first man that you didn't had a freak off with. Let's call 50 Cent. Let's phone a friend. Let's call 50 Cent and see what him say. Let's see how you was acting with 50 Cent. Because I'm sure 50 Cent was, having you do a couple of strange things for a piece of change too. I'm sure he was. Trust me, I'm sure he was. And that's why 50 Cent, I don't care if 50 Cent Joan and act funny, but the 50 Cent, remember he told us, he said, I think my baby mama's one of Diddy's freak off mermaids. And then we were like, no, 50 Cent, you play too much. 50 Cent, you play a little bit too much. 50 Cent, go sit down. And it came out to be true, y'all. 50 Cent was Joaning her. But he was for real. She was a freak off mermaid. And this is what you get with those type of women. That's why Diddy ain't marrying none of them. Nobody is marrying no ho 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 Merry Christmases. Because if you get nasty and you doing all this stuff, they ain't gonna marry you. They don't want none of that, right? Hey, Bronze, how are you? They don't want a woman that they know they was freaking off with and watching you get your cheeks clapped by another man. No man is gonna want that. He gonna treat you exactly how you act in that bed, like a ho 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 Merry Christmas, and then he's gonna be like, that's all you is worth to me. That's it. You ain't nothing but a ho 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 Merry Christmas. You won't be getting no ring from me, and that's why Diddy, he did not put a ring on nobody's finger. He holds allegiance to nobody but himself. And people don't understand that. Well, let me say this. They did understand that they was chasing the money. They was chasing the money. But let's see. So it says prior to the sentencing, the judge called prosecution's evidence, including testimony that escorts were paid thousands of dollars to have sex with Combs' former girlfriends Ventura Fine and Jane Ho Ho. Merry Christmas. Overwhelming. But in court Friday, Submarinian said the narrative advanced by Combs and his lawyers, and the case involved nothing more than transporting people across state lines to engage in consensual sexual activity, was flatly inconsistent with both reality and any concept of responsibility. It says, and then it says, follow along with the updates. So it was doing updates all day. It says, is Diddy parole possible? At the federal level, parole is generally not an option for people sentenced after 1987. Though there are other potential early release programs available at the level. It says, however, Combs' legal team has indicated they will appeal his conviction. So it says, Diddy's kids' family exit court after the sentencing. Combs' mother, Janice, and his children, Quincy Brown and Justin Combs, Jesse and Delilah Combs, exited the courtroom following the sentencing ruling for a ruling from the judge. So y'all, they left the courtroom and look at baby Combs Jr. Look at him and his girlfriend. Okay. We got a cute dress on. Look at Diddy Jr. right there. Look at Diddy Jr. with his girlfriend. She's a pretty girl. Jamil calls him Tootsie Roll Neck. Okay, Tootsie Roll Neck, we see you with your little girlfriend. Okay, we see you with your girlfriend. She's a pretty girl. Okay, we see you. We hope that you is treating that girl with some respect, because we know you got a case too. Hey, sister, how are you? Welcome. We know, according to court documents, and but was that even true too? It kind of goes back to, was that even true? I don't know. Carlson, that's the other predator. That's what they were saying. This is what they were saying. Because remember, they said that Diddy and his son, kids, mom, whatever, was on a boat. And this white girl, she came forward and said that they were doing all kind of stuff, making her do all kind of stuff. I mean, that was freak nasty. And she was trying to sue them. Was that true? I mean, I don't know. Tammy says the apple don't fall far from the tree. Exactly. This is like a learned behavior. Y'all telling me y'all think? I don't care what nobody says. Them kids, they done seen Diddy in action numerous of times. They know their daddy is a monster, but they love their daddy. Some kids who get abused by their parents, they still love them to the high heavens. It just is what it is. But I know that Diddy then snapped out in front of them numerous of times. They know that daddy is a monster. They know he got them snap, crackle, and pop tendencies. Snap, crackle, and throw the Ciroc bottle at you. Snap, crackle, and pop and catch a 2-piece and 12 biscuits to go. Right? He ain't got no shame. If he was doing that, he was doing it in front of them kids too. I solely believe it. I really believe it. TY says money will buy love. It sure will. And this is what they were doing. A lot of them, Cassie included. Like I said, I believe Cassie was a victim to a certain extent. And I'm going to say that because Cassie, she was with the smoke too. When she met Diddy, she was already dating somebody who was like 30 years old. And of course, senior to her. And she was like 19 or 20. And the guy she was messing with before Diddy was like 30 or 31. And Diddy was even older. So she was with the smoke. She's not no little perfect angel. And remember, we even heard a video of her telling somebody that she will, unalive them if they don't do something, giving them the tape or something. I forget what it was. But she was like, I will unalive you. And she went hood on them. She went completely to a instant hood rat, real quick, fast, in a hurry. She was like, I will, if you don't give me that, I'm gonna. I was like, oh, is that Cassie? No, Cassie looked like she's a little, sweet little angel, right? But we didn't see her. We didn't heard her. I'm gonna say heard her in action too. So she's not no little perfect little angel. Then she was messing with Kid Cudi. She was messing with even her husband now. He was Diddy's training person. So you can't tell me Cassie was, she was with the smoke. She was a little bit juicy girl too. I'm just saying, not taking away what Diddy did to her. I'm not saying that, but she was with the smoke too. Because if she was a good woman, she would have left the whole situation. She would have never even messed with her husband, who was Diddy's training person. Was it physical fitness, whatever, trainer? So there's a lot entailed with the story, but needless to say, Diddy got 50 years in federal prison. Now, how do y'all think that he's going to survive? Do y'all think he's going to survive? I mean, I don't know. TY says, I think I met her. Oh, snap. TY says, everyone knows that girl was washed out. Yes, TY, we just keeping it real, right? We know that she was a ho, Merry Christmas too. But she did not deserve, none of those women deserve to be treated like Diddy did. None of them. Tammy says months. Yeah, I think that he 50 months, which is like 4 years. I'm sorry, 4 years and like 2 months, I think it is. It turns out to 50 months if I added that up right. I think 50 months is like 4 years and 2 months, y'all. If I'm counting right. Michael says, hey Michael. Michael says he might have to go to protective custody. Michael, he might have to go to protective custody. He might have to go over there and sit in a corner and sit his badonka dog down, right? Because I think he's gonna be stressed out for probably the first couple of months, because I know they're not gonna keep him in the MDC. They're gonna transfer him out. They are going to transfer him out somewhere. He's not going to do all of those 3 years that he has left over there at the MDC. No, they always going to find you another institution. He may be going across the whole state. He's in New York. He may be going to Washington State. It depends on where they have space available. Where they have available space for the freak off dragon, right? Tammy says, kinda a slap on the wrist. Yeah, it really was. That's why I said they should have charged him for something that could have been. I mean, really think about it, y'all. Think about it. They don't have it was crazy. It's like they wanted to sit him down, but then they brought these lame charges against him. It's like, okay, the process. Oh, are y'all with me? Put a 1. I keep on getting calls, y'all. I'm sorry. I keep on getting calls. Put a 1 if y'all with me. Hey, D-Dot, how are you? Welcome in. Welcome in. So, okay, we back. Okay, thanks, Tammy. Hey, Paying now. Everybody wants to look. The YouTube is sending my notifications. Paying and D-Dot, welcome. Okay, thank you, V. So, yeah, I don't know. Pang says, I'm with you. Okay, thank you, Pang. Thank you. Y'all welcome. But y'all, I don't know. I don't know how, I think he's going to be, I think he might be a little depressed knowing that he's going to be down that long, because y'all see how he was this last year, crying and slinging snot. Remember? He was like, oh, the lawyer, Mr. Agnifilo, can you please get me out of here? Oh, Lord. Mr. Agnifilo, tell him that we can go please find an apartment in Manhattan, in the sky, closer to Jesus. Please go and tell the judge that, I will not get a cell phone. I won't be doing no freak offs. I just don't want to be in the MDC, remember? And then the federal agents went to go check out the spot. They went to go assess it and see, and then they still told him, no, Diddy, you're not going anywhere. So I really think that Diddy is going to have a hard time probably adjusting to the prison life, and not saying that the prison life is fun, because prison is not supposed supposed to be fun, and it's not fun at all for anybody. I've never been, but I'm saying it's not a good, fun place to be at, for sure. And MDC, they said, TY says free Umar. No, they need to find him and lock him up with Diddy, right? They need to find him and lock him up with Diddy with his scamming ways. Oh, no, absolutely not, TY. TY, I'm glad you said Umar. Y'all, do y'all remember, for all my Umarian people, do y'all remember when Umar put on his list on his Instagram? Umar put on there that he was going to the Diddy trial. Do y'all remember that when I did that live? He had on his list the Diddy trial. Umar be lying so much, it is a shame to tell the captain. It is a shame how much Umar be lying. Umar is a liar, pants on fire, and the truth is not in him. He said he was going to the Diddy trial. And I'm like, he don't need to be nowhere near the Diddy trial. Because if he's near the Diddy trial, he might be going in the shackles too. As much stuff as he got going on. But I believe, y'all, if Umar gets indicted by the federales or even the state, y'all think I would definitely be there. D-Dot says the feds need to get him. Yes, D-Dot. D-Dot, if the feds go and get him, y'all, I'm telling you, B. Jamil is going to be on the next plane smoking. The next plane smoking, waiting for, I'm telling you, waiting for all of the smoke with the courts and with the judge and everything. We're going to be on the first plane smoking when they say, breaking news, Umar Johnson, better known as Dr. Umar Johnson, FDMG, abandoned building chief, commander-in-chief, has been arrested. Y'all, I'm telling you, me and Jamil is going to be on the next plane smoking. We is going to that trial. And don't let it be in the state court, which I don't believe it's going to be. I believe it's going to be the feds that pick them up. This is just my assumption. We going to be there front and center. We going to be there front and center. I'm telling you, we going to be there, and I'm going to be ready to be writing down all of my notes, and it's going to be on and popping. I'm telling you, it's going to be on and popping. It's going to be on and popping. Dr. Sharice says, please do lounge. Yes, Dr. Sharice, I'm going to be there front and center. Trust and believe. I already told you, Bill. I said as soon as him indictment comes down, we is going to be over there front and center. We is not going to even be playing with him because he thinks that he can get away with a lot of stuff, y'all. He thinks that he can get away with a lot of stuff. But just like I did that live, was it 2 weeks ago? When I did that live on the guy who did the same thing that Umar did, and he got 28 years in the feds, and he did that for 8 years. The feds, they let him go ahead and collect the money. I'm sure they was getting all kind of calls. The feds phone lines was probably burning up. This guy, he said that he was gonna, I sent some money and I donated, and he said he was gonna give it to the Navy vets. And I'm having other people call me saying, did you donate some money? And they say yeah. And he wasn't using the money for the Navy veterans. Trust me, I believe the feds was probably getting all kind of calls saying that Umar is taking their money and he's not using it for the school. That's why y'all think he's at that schoolhouse now, trying to over there conjure something up to try to make it look like he's doing something at the schoolhouse. This is what he's doing right now. He was over there the day before yesterday. I put a video out on that. He was over there, and I'm like, he should have never turned that camera on because he make himself look even worse, looking nasty and dirty and funky. And if he wanted to do that school and get that school ready, come on now. We got probably a whole bunch of entrepreneurs in here now. I don't got that many people in the building, but there's a business person. Whenever you are an entrepreneur and you do business, some entrepreneurs that wake up as early as 3-4 o'clock in the morning and get their day started. 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Sister says Umar 1-800 telling now. Sister, you is the says, breaking news, Umar's school has been converted to a federal jail for Diddy three times to the Y'all is a mess. Y'all is a mess. Dr. Cherie says, facts, Bronze is laughing. Yes. I'm telling you, this situation, if Umar thought that he was trying to do something, show us that you're in there during the day, sir. Why are you going over there at nighttime? The only thing that's open late at night for a single, dirty, dusty man is maybe the script club, maybe the ER, and maybe some dirty legs. I'm just saying. That's the only thing that's open. Can you please go during the day? Can you show us something? Look, show me something that, is going to impress us, right? You going over there to the abandoned buildings, talking about you going over there, you cleaning up and the ceiling tiles is missing, the floor, you got trash and crap everywhere. Sir, that's been like that for years. You telling me you can't get in there and clean up yourself and then try to hire somebody what you can't do? Umar, he's not trying to lift a finger. Umar is lazy as all get out. Y'all can tell in his whole appearance. He looked like he don't even take a bath. He don't look like he take a shower either. Don't even brush his teeth. Y'all see, one of my, like I told y'all before, numerous people have, they had me laughing. I don't know who it was, but they was talking about Umar's teeth look like the color of his building, his schoolhouse, the abandoned buildings. I was dying laughing. I was weak. I was like, y'all is a mess. Y'all be cutting up. Y'all be cutting up. I said, oh my goodness. Diddy said they need to put they need to put Dr. Him next to Diddy. Exactly. They need to house him in the same facility, right? I'm just saying. Tammy says, yeah, Tammy, that's what they said. I should have screenshot that comment. Y'all, when I say I was dying laughing, I was dying laughing because it was one of the ones where he was standing next to the building and then he was smiling. He like smiling and his teeth looked like they had I don't know if it was like Betty Crocker. Is it Betty Crocker butter or let me see, Parquet? I don't know what butter company it was, but it looked like he could scrape it off and scrape a couple of layers off and probably. He could probably use it in his own corn, eating his own butter popcorn or eating his butter corn. Diddy says Betty Crocker teeth. Yes, Betty Crocker teeth. Yes, that part. Yes, he's a mess. I'm telling you, Umar is a mess, and he looks like he is just nasty and dirty. But he does not make sense with the stuff that he does because y'all know they say he paid Marianne last week $68,000. And now all of a sudden, now that you had to pay Marianne $68,000, you ain't got no money, but you had to pay her $68,000, and now you're in the school, you already know what's about to come down the pipeline. You know what you are about to, what's about to come down the pipeline. Dr. Umar, we don't call him doctor. His name is Umar Finesse 3 times. Finesse 3 times, he's trying to make something like some kind of busy work. And he is trying to make it look like he's trying to do something. Tammy says, respect the host and the chat, period. Thank you, Tammy. Yes, I'm telling you, these people are crazy. Diddy says Umar spent our oil. Yes, he is a mess. I'm telling you, he is a hot mess. And this situation, I'm telling you, with him having to pay Marianne an out-of-court settlement for $68,000, it's like where he got that money from. He was just not too long ago begging, talking about, do I have a couple of dollars? Umar, you don't have not one friend that you are cool with? You got a lot of YouTubers that you go up on their platforms. You couldn't even call them. You couldn't even call them and ask them, hey, can I get a couple of dollars, a little advance before I go on the next interview with you? But I think he messed all that up. I'm not even saying he messed it up. People are seeing how Umar is not conducting business. I don't want nobody on my platform that's not conducting business, that's saying that they had a school and they've been begging people for money for 11 years. I wouldn't want that on my platform. I'm not about to be bringing you back up here. Absolutely not. Nope, and no. Tammy says he must be dumping his face in way too much fish Way too much fishy taste. Tammy, you is a mess. I know, right? Sister said, teeth look like, sister, you is a mess. Dida said he got the, where's me, goatee? where's my goatee? You is a mess. Michael says he got bad teeth and G Dill kneecap. Y'all is a mess. Y'all is a mess. Pagans is laughing. Dina's laughing at Tammy. Y'all is hilarious. Y'all is hilarious. Y'all is a mess. But y'all, if Umar, whenever the federales do pick him up, I'm telling you, I'm going to go to that court case and I'm going to be front and center and front and listen to everything that's going down because I believe his time is coming. I don't know how soon. I don't want to guesstimate, but I believe it's going down soon. I would say, of course, probably maybe the middle of next year, maybe by the time they conjure up some stuff on Umar and get their thoughts together. Because remember, that's how it happened with Diddy. Remember, his house got raided in, was that March or April? And then they let him, like, marinate for a good couple of months. Let him marinate while they were doing their research. And then they said, bam, September 16th, Diddy, you are ours. And then they came and arrested him. So all I'm saying is all this stuff that's going on, this is why Umar went up last week and did that video. Remember he did that video? And Tammy says, go live. Oh, you know I am, Tammy. You know I'm going to go live. I'm going to hurry up. Get that camera, Jamil. Hurry up. What a phone? Hurry up. We got to go live. We got to go live, baby. I'm going to go live ASAP. But remember when he went live last week in the car? Talking about he was going to some kind of talking for some college or something? And he sat there for like 40 minutes or an hour, like snapping, talking about, I'm going on the Breakfast Club. No, I ain't going on the, no. First he said, I'm not going on the Breakfast Club until FDMG opens. And then later on in the same live, he said, I'm going to the Breakfast Club. But I'm like, didn't he say he ain't going to the Breakfast Club? He told Charlamagne the God that he's not going to the Breakfast Club until FDMG opens. And I'm like, well, that means that you ain't never going because FDMG is never opening. It's not going to open ever. Never, ever. It is not opening. And then you're going to say, yeah, because I'm going back on Joe Budden. I am going to the Breakfast Club. Sir, you contradict yourself and you lie so much you don't even remember what lies that you tell. You tell so many lies, you don't even know which ones is, you know what I'm saying? How many lies, what lies you done told. Just like with the schoolhouse. Oh, I'm over here. Oh, yeah, the buildings are prestige. Them buildings look like you done bought a garbage dump. You done bought a whole garbage dump. A whole garbage, Dina says scrapyard. I know, right? T.Y. says smart. Yeah, you done bought a whole garbage dump. Those buildings have mold. I mean, y'all, did y'all see the mold on the side of the building? Y'all go over there. If you even go stand by that probably 10 feet, y'all smelling and sniffing that stuff, and that stuff can make you sick. And he talking about these are prestige buildings. I mean, I know I could see right, but that looks like, a whole lot of mold all on the side of the building. Remember on the steps of the building, all on all four sides of all of those buildings is nothing but mold. And you said these buildings are prestige. Well, maybe the way you live, they're prestige, but not the way I live. And maybe a lot of you live, they look like abandoned trash cans. I wouldn't even pay 3 cents for them. They are not even, Tabby says, compared to the hamster cage. Yeah, exactly, Tabby, right? That's what I said. Maybe his standard of living, his standard of business or whatever. I mean, maybe this is how he lives. I mean, evidently so. Because he's talking about, oh, these buildings are prestige. Oh, these buildings are, they are top of the line class. Oh, sir, where do you see top of the line classrooms, schoolhouse? I don't. Dida says, look like Umar's sure did, right, D-Dot? Looked like some skid marks on the wall, right? Like he was riding down the chimney, like, oh, I thought there was a chimney. No, sir, now you left skid marks on the side of the building. Now you left skid marks with your nasty self. Sister said those buildings condemned. Yes, sister, them buildings are condemned. They are nasty and disgusting. I wouldn't even let my dog or cat, if I had one, go over there, not even near those buildings. And then when he came out the building, y'all, guess what he said? Oh, come here, cat. Come here, cat. I'm like, if you don't run, if you don't hurry up and run from him, he don't need to run. Hurry up, cat, run, right? It's crazy. TY says, it's that jungle look. Yes, he is. I mean, he's just disgusted. He looks like a ball of disgust. And like I said, I believe this is why a lot of these YouTubers now, if he shows up on anybody's YouTube platform, I will be in shock. I'm just going to say that because I don't believe for one moment, and this is me thinking, just being a business person and knowing that you don't want nobody, I wouldn't want nobody on my pagans laughing. I don't want nobody on my platform that has been begging and scamming. And you know that. You may not say it. You may not say it, but you see that he's been scamming and asking people. And you see all this stuff going on YouTube with Umar. I would not want to be putting nobody on my platform that is sitting there doing something to me that's borderline illegal or it's illegal to be doing. That's why I said I don't believe for one moment that the Breakfast Club and none of these other platforms is going to allow him to come up. Now, if they do, I will be shocked. I would be shocked. But why hasn't he been up on the other platforms? We know he hasn't been in the Breakfast Club in a while, but remember Charlamagne the God said, oh yeah, he's coming. Oh yeah, why don't you? Because remember a female called in and then they were like, well, he's coming up on the, on the Breakfast Club for an interview. That was like a month and a half, almost seemed like 2 months ago. So I don't think these platforms want to be dealing. I would not want to be dealing with somebody who that the feds maybe try to even come to your platform asking for the raw footage of what you recorded, because you don't know what they recorded and then they edit it out so it won't show, of course, in your video. So no, I would not want nobody knocking to my door because I had invited Umar up on my platform and then the feds is asking me, what did he say? Did he say how much money he collected? How much money, no, absolutely not. But there's already a lot of footage where him telling on himself. Especially with Lord Jamar, that was a whole dead giveaway with that interview he had. Oh, I don't need I don't need no people. All I need is money. All I need is their donations. That's all I need. Sir, it's not all you need is money. That's all you want is money. These people money so you can go on these wholecations, staycations, vacations, tourcations, and everything. Because I know all of these schools is not probably paying you much of anything. And if they are paying, are you responsible for getting yourself there out of what they give you? So I'm just saying it's crazy. TY says, say that 3 times. Wholecation, 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 staycation, 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 scammer, 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 scamedian, scamedian, scamedian. He's a scamedian. That's what he is. That's the only thing he is a whole scamedian artist. Just saying. But y'all, so we're going to keep tuned on that. And we is going to see how Diddy does when he goes to federal prison. So we're going to see how he going to act. Do y'all think he going to go to the hospital? Y'all know he had a case. Remember, because they put Jamil all in the newspaper back in January. Put him in all, Jamil's name was all over. My baby Jamil Peterson, his name was plastered all over all kind of news articles saying that Diddy got rushed to the hospital, which he did. That's what they said. They put it out. He had got the intel beforehand, and he put it out. And then next thing you know, me and Jamil wake up, and we look at our phones, and it's all kind of articles on Jamil. Y'all go check it out. Put in Jamil Peterson says Diddy rushed to the hospital, and look at those articles. I think it was back in January, and he was all over everybody's article. We like, whoa, what's going on? And then like a day or two later, that's when they wanted to release that Diddy was going to the hospital. But it was funny. It was hilarious. We was like, oh, snap, Jamil, you done made like all these articles. It was like a whole, like a fire. We were like, hold on. This is, oh, Lord, you all over everybody's newspaper, baby. You all, oh my goodness. But y'all, this is what happens. But we'll see. We will see how it will be when Diddy goes. I'm just saying. Diddy says, my pet African Bambada booty scratcher, musty, crusty, funky boy. Diddy, you was a mess. Sister says toothpaste is his downfall. Oh Lord, y'all is a mess. Diddy says the toothbrush scared of mercy. Y'all is hilarious. Y'all is hilarious. Sister says, hey, Dida, I bet his shadow stink too. Thanks, and Dida, she laughing. Dr. Sharice is laughing. Y'all is hilarious. Y'all is so hilarious. I don't know why YouTube is playing with my emotions tonight. I need to email YouTube because they is like, I mean, they is over here. I'm almost gonna be like Umar begging for some people to come watch because you know these numbers ain't numbering like over there with Umar's school. He ain't even got no students and I ain't even got no watchers. I think we ride on the same, like, you know, thin ice over here. But y'all, I'm not gonna keep y'all because YouTube is playing with my emotions. But y'all know, even if it's a 2 or 3 of us, we gonna have fun, right? But y'all, I'm not gonna keep y'all. Thanks for stopping in. I had a great time with y'all tonight. And y'all, we gonna do it again tomorrow. We gonna see what is going on. Cause I gotta see what Umar is doing. I didn't check up on him all day. And I only seen 2 things I think that I posted. I did shorts on and did a post on him. So you know, we got to keep him our foot on him neck. So we got to keep the foot on the neck, right? Pink says, Umar, not much, laughing out loud. He is a mess. TY says, oh, yes, indeed. Put the hands up. Sister says, bet his feet sings tunes with all that told you. Y'all is a mess. Tabby says, stop playing YouTube. I know, Tabby, YouTube is playing. Y'all see how many people in the building? Their YouTube is playing. They is doing too much. I be tripping with no max like Umar is, right? I'm just saying. But y'all, I'm about to email YouTube. YouTube, y'all know y'all need to stop playing with my emotions, right? I'm just saying. But y'all, thanks all my mods, everybody that came in the building. Thanks for hitting the likes. Y'all, thank you so much. Thank you for the gift. Somebody sent a gift. I don't know who it was, but thanks whoever sent me the gift. I appreciate all of y'all. Love all of you guys dearly. And y'all always leave with love, peace, and tranquility. And y'all, we gonna keep our foot on Umar's neck, y'all. So y'all, night time. It says night, sleep tight, y'all. And we gonna do it again tomorrow, y'all. So I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a good night. Love y'all. Good night.